Notorious they shall be.
Alright everybody, and welcome to the Notorious Arena League, home of the best crews on the seas. Oh yeah, what's up? As always, I'm your host, Ragetrox, and joining me today, the one, the only, Harry from Vertical Buds.
Hey everybody, nice to be here. How you doing, Rage?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you so much, by the way, for the sub, man. Really appreciate it.
Hey, anytime.
Guys, so today, something new. I'm already seeing some questions in the chat. What's going on with this academy? Too Late Taco with the sub as well. Thank you so much for your support. But people wondering, what's going on? What is this with the academy? And well, if you're in the NAL Discord, then you would have known that we actually didn't have basically the teams to do the usual scrim night that we're used to. So instead of canceling today's broadcast, we thought of doing something cool that we haven't done yet in the NAL, and I think it's about time. It's gonna be really cool. The NAL Academy is all about showing you guys the techniques that are commonly used in the NAL, giving you guys some insight into the, I guess, those mechanics and some of the strategies. So this will help anyone that is looking to get into competitive Sea of Thieves, and then maybe, you know, even for those that are experienced, there you might pick up one or two things that you didn't know before. So the NAL Academy, it's you know, basically if you're thinking about getting into competitive Sea of Thieves and you go into those scrims and you're like, oh man, what's going on? Well, hopefully NAL Academy is gonna help to bridge the gap between the new teams that are entering the scene and the more veteran teams that are out there. We don't know when we're gonna have the next NAL Academy, so this episode is gonna be really comprehensive, and you know, we're gonna have our giveaway, Obsidian 6-pack, for those wondering about the giveaway. That's gonna happen, and we'll do that before we end the stream. We are also gonna have ukulele time, of course. Wouldn't be NAL broadcast without that. Captain Reverse with the sub, the Helm of Reavers. Thank you so much for your support. But yeah, so it wouldn't be an NAL show without some of that ukulele. So it'll be really, really cool. We'll break up the broadcast today into different segments. So the first one will be going through the tutorial session, and we'll try to take it easy, give time for questions. So it's gonna be a very interactive stream. So anytime you guys are typing in the chat, we'll be able to follow up and kind of interact back and forth. That'd be really, really cool. And after we're done with the tutorials, we'll go into a little bit of a paint session, which I hope I can do that, because in the game I'm hoping to show you mechanics that you can do with your pirate. Hey, you can in with the 500 bits, man. From the Furious Flamingos, let's go. Shout out to Sanary. But yeah, so in game I'm hoping to show you, with the help of Harry, a lot of the mechanics and stuff that you'll need to use like on your pirate. But then I want to complement that with some strategy, and I want to see if I can pull off some paint, kind of draw around the ships and the strategies and stuff that you can use. F-Talk with the sub as well, one of the reps of the Notorious Arena League. After we're done with that, we'll talk a little bit about Harry and the Barnacle Buds, what's going on with them, and then we'll transition into the ukulele and the giveaway, and we'll wrap up the stream with a raid. So that is the plan for today. And by the way, huge shout out to the man, the only, the graphics of the NAL, Kiyohime from Octavians. Really, it's an amazing guy. So love you, man. Thank you for hooking me up with the NAL Academy real quick. All right, well, I think without further ado, we're gonna get involved with this. Let's do this. We're gonna start from basics, and we'll go from there. Those of you that have been watching NAL for a long time, you would have known that I used to play a video showing like how to bucket and things like that. It has been a long time. I'm glad I haven't had to show it. But we're gonna go through a whole bunch of stuff. There's Harry, in case you haven't seen this majestic pirate from the Barnacle Buds. One of the most mechanically gifted players in Sea of Thieves so far that we've seen in the NAL. And he was so kind to join us for today. So, yeah, I mean, look, I think, guys, in the beginning, this is going to look kind of very basic. You might even think it's a waste of your time, but I promise you, it's not. Okay? I promise you it's not. It's going to cover basics, but we'll go into more advanced stuff as well. So let's do it. The first thing I like to show is I guess this is kind of like an adventure mode thing more than anything. But you never know. You might need it at some point. And basically, I want to show you guys how to catch anchor. It's one of the things that we used to see all the time before in Arena 1.0, when you had to do quick extractions and deliveries. It was really important to get control of your ship and just park it on the dime. So we're gonna start with that. I want to just bring to your attention a few markers that we'll be using. so that we know what's going on. First of all, I want to have you guys pay attention. This vertical line on the ship's hull is going to be very important. That's our marker. We also going to pay attention to the left wheel of the rightmost cannon. That's our secondary marker. So what happens is when you're dropping anchor, the capstan's going to rotate clockwise. You're going to stand right here on the right, and you'll watch the cylinder in the middle is going to go down. Now this is going to come down to experience, how much the cylinder goes down before it fully drops.
Ragetrox. We have a bit of company on our left here. I don't know.
Oh, we need some cannon practice, I guess. Alright guys, time to... Actually no, we can just leave them.
What are they might look like they're about to post up.
Okay. It's a merchant. We'll let him do his business. Alright.
Okay. Back to...
Well, I mean, if he wants to mess with the rage, he's gonna get a piece of it. He's gonna get a piece of the... gonna get a piece of it. But guys, okay, so with experience, you'll get how much the cylinder is gonna come down. Alright, so you stand here, drop it, and you catch. So I think, from my experience, I think I caught it one too early. This can happen to you as well. So just, basically, I just gotta let go, grab the next one, and now I know I can crank it back. So then what I would do is the left peg of the capstan, I'm lining that up with that vertical line on the hull. Okay? Lining that up, and basically at this point the helm can just say, hey, drop anchor, and I can pretty confidently just drop it. It's almost instant, but it's not risking to the point where I'll prematurely drop it. So if I just let go, boom, and it's just, you hear the sound, the anchor's gone down. And this is really cool technique that we used to use all the time, the catch anchor. That's the term for it. But I want to show you that you can actually go a little bit beyond that, and that's what the cannon's wheel is for. You know, because some people used to be like the show-offs, I guess, and they wanted to get the silent drop. Now I don't recommend silent drop, but I want to show you that you can get away with a little bit more. Okay, so there we go. That time I caught it in the correct peg. So what happens is, remember, we want to line it up with the vertical line on the hull like this, but we can actually go up until the wheel, and that will be have no problems. Merchant's just vibing. Deadron with the sub, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, the merchant is not interested. He's just doing his thing. He got lucky that we're doing this. Otherwise, you know what? I'm gonna steal those commodities. Alright, so the left peg, it can actually go up to the wheel, but if you go beyond the wheel, that's when the capstan will actually go all the way down. So I don't recommend it. This is people that want to do the fancy silent drop. Don't do that. Just leave it here, and you can't risk it, and then boom, instant anchor drop. Now the next thing I want to show is something that I like to think, you know what, you want to be one of the best pirates on the seas. Okay, well, this is really basic as well, but you know, go figure. You don't see many people going in the crow's nest in the NAL, but if you know what, but I'll tell you, if I had known about a technique in Sloop Arena that required me to go to the crow's nest, I would have done better in the Sea of Champions if I'd known that. But anyways, maybe I could show you guys later. But the point is, as one of the top pirates, you don't want to go to the crow's nest and then come and slide down, and then you can get shot easily as you're doing that. No, you want to get used to just falling off and then re-grabbing. And what I want to bring your attention to is this metal ring here in the middle of the mast, because as you practice this, what your goal is to fall, catch at this point, and then you just let go, and you won't take... Well, you might take a little bit. No, you won't. You don't take fall damage. There you go. So that's the point, right? So you want to go up, practice getting up to this last metal ring before... Sorry, not the last one. It's the right in the middle of the mast, this one. And then you can just let go and not have to worry about fall damage. How to board. You know what? That is a good point. That is a good point. You might not climb the crow's nest, but you can maybe get a deck shot, and then you end up on the ladder here of the main mast, and then you know what, yeah, you know, you're gonna start that peg leg award worthy clip. You better start it the right way, and that means that you grab the ladder. Oh, and then I guess I kind of cheated a little bit. But I didn't take fall damage, and I didn't slide down all the way, so it's something kind of basic, but I figure, you know what, if we're gonna go in depth, we might as well cover little things like that too. Okay, up next, we're gonna talk about something regarding boarding. So a lot of people, you know, when they're trying to board a ship, they'll basically, you hear that the sound is different. When you're swimming above water, you can hear the splashing of your character swimming through, and if you go underwater, the sound is different. It's kind of like muffled sound, different, quieter. But you should be aware that this is only on your side. It's only on your client side. For the enemies, the sound is the same. If you're swimming above the surface or just a little bit below it, to them the sound is the same. It's not much difference. It's just literally the only difference is that it's further away, but you still make the same splashing. So I just don't want you to be aware. Oh yeah, okay, let's go, Harry. So go in there and start swimming so that we can tell the difference of the sound. Hold on, and I'm gonna mute this music thing too. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Harry's currently below the water. Now swim above. Yeah. So there was no difference. And go below the water again. Yeah. There you go. So I wanted to make sure that everyone was aware about that. And that's important because when you're boarding a ship, well, you want to try to avoid that. That's gonna alert the enemies. So obviously boarding, the mermaids usually pop up. You can't really do much about that. But if you get lucky and the mermaid doesn't ruin your board, then you can set yourself up for a silent board. That would be basically if this ship was moving forward, instead of me swimming up to the ladder and making all this splashing noise to alert enemies, what I should do is instead just kind of wait in its path and let the ladder of the ship come to me instead. Now there's one extra thing though that happens. You know, getting to the ladder is not over here. So what happens is there is also a noise that gets made. Like if you have your gun ready because you want to go in and slay out, and you grab ladder, and there's a noise that comes from basically your character's gun. That noise, you can get rid of that noise if you ADS before you grab ladder. And that's why you see that a lot in the NAL. So I guess, Harry, could you try that so we can see the sound or hear the sound? Yeah. So you still hear the like a little bit of the water, but you don't hear the gun itself. The cocking of the gun is the giveaway. Yeah, that's nice. That's a good example. That's a good example. So I want to show you something else. Harry, get on a cannon like you're basically like you're shooting. All right. Now watch this. I've seen a lot of people do this. Okay. They come up, say they're thinking about boarding, and then they're gonna swap to blunder, but they don't let it get so like. You basically have to let your weapon be in its ready state, okay? In its ready state, that means the weapon's fully out, okay? But a lot of people don't do that. What they do is they'll swap weapons on their way to ladder, and they'll sprint, and they'll never ready up their weapon. This is what happens. Watch. You see? I had to take a delay. I had to take a delay, so I can't just come in and kill Harry right away. I have to deal with a delay. So I'll show you again the problem. This is the problem. Okay, here we go. I never let my blunder get ready. So it's still in, it hasn't been readied yet. Then I come here. I have to wait. What you need to do is make sure when you're gonna board, if you're planning already in your mind that you're gonna come in and one-tap the cannoneer, you have to make sure your blunder is in a ready state, okay? If it's already in the ready state, then look at the difference. See that right now, blunder's in the ready state, so I can sprint with no problem. And then I can come up the ladder, no problem. Just sprint right to Harry. Boom. +5, you know, and I can start the peg leg montage. So that is really, really huge. So many boarders are not doing that, and it's costing them their lives. I see it all the time, and well, that's how you can fix that problem. There's another way you could do it. This is a little bit more challenging, but let's say that you did this. You know, you didn't ready your weapon, but you want to. Actually, hold on. Actually, no, I did the wrong example. Let's say you didn't ready your weapon, so I want to one-tap Harry, but I have my eye of reach out instead. So you can do quick swapping, and you still have no delay. And the way it looks, I'll demonstrate it first, and I'll tell you how it's done. Okay, so it all happened real fast. I'll kind of slow it down. So the way it works is, those people that are used to double gunning, you know that the way we used to do quick swapping, you know, you shoot your gun, swap weapon, sprint, and then shoot again for the next one. So it kind of looks like this. So you shoot, swap, sprint, and the ADS. See? Now, what happened was they added a delay to prevent you from shooting too quickly after switching, okay? But what happens is if you haven't shot at all, then there is no delay. So if I have my outreach, but I know I really mean to just use my blunder, then I swap to blunder, sprint, and then I can ADS and shoot with no delay. So that's the technique. And the reason why you need to know that is because look at the difference. I mean, if you don't do that, if you don't do the swap sprint, then this is what it looks like. And then you have to wait, and you don't have that time. You don't have that kind of time. You want to be a slayer, you know, you want to be a killer, slayer. So here we go. Boom. That is much better than coming out and doing this. So next time you're boarding, keep that in mind. Now I want to show you another thing with boarding. So thanks, Harry. That's all for the cannon. So I want to show you guys something with boarding, and it's changed recently. It's changed. So I guess it's better that we go over it. So back in the day, we had a technique known as ladder juking. Okay, and ladder juking, really important to avoid people that are watching ladders. So we would be able to do ladder juke down the middle, which looks like this. Basically, let go and re-grab. Ladder juke to the left. And ladder juke to the right. Okay, and clearly because I'm doing it, it means you can still do it. But there's a little extra thing you have to be careful. If you go higher than the middle part of the ship and you try it, this might happen. Hold on. This might happen to you. Hold on. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm trying to get into a point that I've seen lately that people are getting, like, they're standing on here instead. Because that can happen. And I guess if it happens, then you have to be ready for it. Harry, do you know how it's happening to people? That they get... Because what happens, they fix the catapulting, also known as dolphin diving. That, you know, little thing here. And in doing so, it's added this thing where people are boarding, but they're standing on the ladder instead. I guess I'm not getting it this time. But if it happens... Oh, you need waves. Oh, okay, so Mino is telling us. So it happens, yeah, okay, high waves. So if you're boarding in high waves, just don't be surprised if you get stuck in the side of the ship. But yeah, so we have ladder juke to the left, we got ladder juke to the right, we got ladder juke down the middle. They're all so useful for their own purposes. So if I see someone like Harry and they're using blunder, my go-to is the ladder juke down the middle. And the reason for that is because I'm trying to bait Harry to believe that I'm doing the climbing animation like that. Harry, do the climbing animation real quick. Get on the ladder. Oh, I guess they're okay. Do it again. That was funny. There was no animation. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to bait that. That's what I'm trying to bait. Now, go in the ladder and try doing the ladder juke in the middle. Just so people can see the comparison. Like, when people are watching ladders, they're already a little bit nervous that you're gonna climb. So, you're trying to bait them so they can whiff their shot, and then you climb. Yeah, so, Harry, when I whiff, then you climb. Okay, do the ladder juke down the middle. And then you climb. Yeah, and then you can get on while the person's reloading the shot. That's really cool. I like the ladder juke down the middle for blunderbuss watching people. Now, there's also the chance that somebody is watching with eye of reach. Do you have the eye of reach, Harry? Yeah, okay, cool. So if someone's watching with eye of reach, then this is basically the time to do ladder juke to the sides. You know, and by the way, if you become predictable, then obviously that defeats the whole point. So at the end game, you're very much mixing it all up, so to confuse the defender as much as possible. But basically, ladder juke to the left or ladder juke to the right. But there is something you should know. If the ship is moving, okay, if this ship was moving forward and I do ladder juke to the left, I can extend it longer than normal because the ladder is going to come back to me since the ship is moving. However, if I go ladder juke to the right, I know I have to keep it short because the ladder will be sailing away. That has to be in your mind. Alright. Now, one of the best places to watch with the eye of reach is actually from up by the helm. You jump on the little balcony and you can watch from the side. So, yeah, get over there. Yeah, where Harry is. So if you're defending your ship, that as a helm especially, that is a really good spot because now if I do my ladder juke to the left and I do the ladder juke to the right, it almost looks like I'm moving one-dimensionally. It defeats the point of my evasion. So now try it, Harry, try it so I can show them what I'm talking about. Do it to the left and to the right. So I can just kind of time it because I know he's going to have to re-grab. And it's a really easy shot. This is a very easy shot. You can just, you know, you can just do it. And it doesn't matter if he's doing ladder juke to the left or to the right. It almost looks the same as if he did ladder juke down the middle. So it really negates it. Whereas if I'm down here, then you could see it. I have to move my mouse more to try to kill him. Okay. All right. Thanks, Harry. Now, one more thing is with pistol. Go equip a pistol. Alright. So, now this one, in my opinion, if you see someone with a pistol watching you, and they're by themselves, you just don't do it. Don't do ladder juke at all. Don't tank it. You'll be half HP, but you're on board their ship, and that's worthy. You know, so, pretty much, yeah. I hope they don't have a sword, I guess, because if they all of a sudden they shoot you and they have a sword, then that's pretty bad. But yeah, I would recommend don't bother ladder juking pistols. Just go ahead and climb. Now I want to show you something else that will be pretty useful to you. Another problem that you face while boarding. So what happens is, usually, if you board, Harry, please stand in the front of the ladder. A little bit further back. Okay, that's good. That's good. Stand there. Okay. So if you board and you're not aware of hitboxes in the game, it's possible that you're just gonna be stuck here because your opponent is gonna be blocking your path. Currently Harry is on my own team, so I can walk through him. But you cannot walk through enemies like this. Okay? That's not a thing. So, in order to get around the enemy's hitbox, so you don't get stuck, you have to incorporate a technique. So, there are two ways to do it. One is, back in the day when sword was more popular, you know, you'd basically just climb the ladder, and then immediately block jump forward like that. The block jumps allow you to go through enemy character hitboxes, and they're very important. But then we basically see it's currently the double gunning is more popular. And the good news is that you can also do it with double gunning. It's just literally a matter of jumping. So, you know, that initial jump is so you can go through them. Or you can, I guess you can also just shoot them and kill them and go through them that way if you're that kind of a swagger pirate like Harry. I've seen him do that a bunch of times. But if not, then you know you have to jump just so you don't get stuck in that initial part. Now, talking about the kill, this was something that was made really famous by Tart T. I'm not gonna take credit for that one. He named it the F blunder, so we're gonna keep it that. And basically the way it's done, it's just that you, like right now I'm holding right click on my mouse just so I'm immediately aiming. I'm gonna perform the ladder juke down the middle, and I'm just gonna shoot as soon as I can. And you see a lot of players picking up kills like that. So, you know, basically that's an example right there. And that's if you want to go for the kill. ADSing is very important because the blunderbuss has a tighter spread when you shoot it from ADS than hipfire. So, let's see if I can shoot at a wall and show you the difference. So, let's see like a hipfire. You can see the spread is pretty crazy. And now, see how long the bullets stay. Okay, we'll shoot at this side here. Oh, okay, the bullets are not even there. Okay, see, ADS. Oh, come on. I need a wall that will actually show the bullets. I guess
the
we'll
masts
go.
work, Rage. The masts.
The masts work? Okay. But it looks weird. Let's
You're
go
on the outpost, Go
to the island. Yeah. And by the way, I put my graphics on cursed because most of the players in the NAL are doing that because they want to maximize their FPS. You know, if you're rocking those 144 hertz monitors, then yeah, and you probably want to do that. Okay, so let's see here. Hip fire. You can see how wide the spread is, and then over here we'll go ADS, and you can see it's tighter spread. So that's why you're not seeing people running around hip firing the blunder. You can still one-tap someone, but in order to do that, you have to be point blank. You have to be literally boom, point blank. Then yeah, look, that's a super tight spread. But to accomplish the same spread, the ADS, I guess. Yeah, no, I mean if you're if you're point blank, it doesn't matter. Okay. But anyways, that's the point. When you're doing the F blunder, you have a high chance to kill someone if you aim down sight. Sometimes you don't care about the kill. I've seen plenty of people do the F blunder, and they're doing it for a different reason. They're doing it because the blunderbuss is currently the only gun that has a knockback effect. So if someone's watching ladder on you, and you just do a hip fire with the F blunder, you'll knock them back, and that might give you the little room that you're looking for to board them. So it's basically just a straight, and it's easier as well, easier to perform. Now, I'll make a little comment also about ladder juke before we move on to a different topic. But if you're on keyboard and mouse, and you're pressing F with your index finger, and you realize it's really hard to ladder juke to the right. You'll find it really uncomfortable, very unnatural to ladder juke to the right. So for that reason, when you're doing a ladder juke, I recommend you use a different finger position on your keyboard. So what happens is when you're on ladder, you cannot jump. Okay, you cannot jump. So if I'm spamming spacebar, my spacebar is for jumping, and it does nothing when I'm on ladder. So that means my thumb that I'm normally keeping on my spacebar, I'm gonna move that thumb to my F key instead, and therefore I can do my ladder juke to the right in a very comfortable way that doesn't disrupt me at all. And I can do a ladder juke to the left, down the middle, everything's fine. Then when I get on the ship, I can just put my thumb back on the space bar. Maybe a little detail that hadn't thought of yet. That's just one way if you want to keep the basic keybinds, but I know plenty of players. They change their keybinds to suit their needs, so that is something that might be worthy of that. And actually, talking about settings, I want to go in and actually show you some settings that you should definitely have. You'd be at a huge disadvantage if you don't have these ones. So, first of all, going to gameplay, field of view. This is a hot topic at the moment. Field of view 90. That's pretty much a must. You've got to. 90 is very important, and you might have heard that there's people doing more than 90. But in the NAL, this is not allowed, and we will ban people that are doing that stuff. They'll face sanctions. At the minimum, they'll face sanctions. It's not something that we want to see because it requires players to modify stuff, and we don't like that. You know, it's basically if you can't do it on Xbox through the in-game settings, then like no, we don't want to mess with that. The next setting I want to highlight is under accessibility, and this one is called reduce hold to interact. This is so important. This is extremely important. You should have this on. Okay, this is very important. The other thing you should have on is let me see what else. Actually, let me explain why you should have reduced to hold to interact, okay? Before I do the next one. So, things that we're doing commonly all the time, okay? In the NAL, shooting cannons, that happens all the time. All the time. So, typically, if you don't have that setting turned on, you have to hold R to reload your cannonball and shoot again. And that, you know, if you're doing that hundreds of times in the match and, you know, thousands of times over your competitive Sea of Thieves experience, that's really going to get old real quick. You don't need to hold that. Actually, you just tap it once with reduce hold to interact. I press R once, it loads it for me, and then I can just shoot as quickly as I can. You know, boom, and then just press R once and boom. So I really recommend that for shooting cannons. That's great. But the main reason why I like it is for the anchor, for the borders. Man of weed.
Something to add to this is that it kind of goes by personal preference and position. For me personally, I don't use hold interact, mostly because I accidentally tap my own anchor, which is something that, you know, is not very fun.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Also not being able to cancel actions is something that kind of comes back to bite you at times. If you accidentally load a special into a cannonball, you can't really, without getting off the cannon back onto it, you can't cancel that.
Oh,
you know, that's from happening.
Yeah, no, it's actually I have a trick for you, Harry, or whatever. You can.
Really?
You can. But what Harry's saying is kind of true. I've seen this happen where like you're in the zone, you're shooting your cannons, you're going, oh yeah, let's go, and then all of a sudden you get knocked off the cannon. You know, just it happens. You know, blunder bomb or something, and then you're spamming your keys, and then you end up just hitting your anchor by accident. That can happen. But I don't know. In my own preference, I like using it because as a boarder, the difference is huge. Instead of coming up boarding and then you have to basically stand still, hold F, and drop the anchor. Instead of doing that, now I have more freedom. I could just drop anchor in motion. And that's really what we want to see from the top boarders. Be able to do something like that. You know, you're not standing still at all. You know, the idea of boarding. Well, first of all, the better the crew that you're boarding, less chance you have of just going to anchor and dropping it. But then, if you're gonna go do that, if you stand still even for a moment, you're gonna have at least 2-3 guns facing you right away, and you're gonna be dead. 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be dead. So if you're able to master this, you board, run around, drop anchors in motion like that, that is a game changer. Absolute game changer. So yeah, so Exility says to use E for interact. Yeah, you can do that if you want. As you know, key binding. Of course, make sure whatever key bindings that you're doing, that you're familiar with that. So E for interact is really good. But as I mentioned before, my little trick with ladder to the right, that I move my thumb to F key. I've already kind of trained my brain that this is like what I do. So I'm dropping this with my thumb actually, the same way as a ladder to the right. But I encourage everyone to try their own settings. As long as they can perform the anchor drop in motion, then you should be fine. It should be perfect. There's no problem at all.
Yeah, and also to add on to that, something that's useful, especially with push to interact, is when you're building or repairing something with a plank, you can tab into your inventory while you're repairing something. Which, I mean, you can check your supplies and a bunch of other stuff like that. But for people that don't use tab to interact, I use hold personally. You can actually hit Q to see, you can check your supplies, check how many planks you have left for the villages out there. Certainly a very useful thing to know. So.
Yeah, that's true. Now, I'm not sure if this is what you were referring to, Harry, but basically, one thing that's common that we see people in the beginning of the matches, they'll come to pick up their supplies. And they're running around with a chain shot, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go, let's go." And then you start the game, and then all of a sudden your first shot, you're like way at max range, and you're just wasting the chain shot. So you want to avoid that, but at the same time, you don't want to be late on cannons. Okay, you want to be able to shoot. So what you could do is actually you can come in, you can start loading your chain shot, but swap it for a regular cannonball halfway through the animation. So I'm gonna demonstrate that real quick. So let's say I grab my chain shot, I'm running around. Okay, I'm gonna start to load it, swap to my regular cannonball. Okay, hold on. What happened there? Okay, let's get my chain shot, start to load it, and I started loading it with my chain shot, but I shot a regular cannonball. And what happened was, the reason why it didn't work the first time was because I did it too early. So the little progress bar, when you're loading the ball, you want to have it at the middle line, and then you can swap to anything else. So let's see again. Like, I'm gonna go from chain shot. I'll switch to blunder bomb this time, and we'll see if I can pull it off here. There it is, and there was no time wasted. It was really smooth. So Sayuta says you could press X before grabbing the cannon, so you're not holding a chain shot. Okay, that's a good point. Now we're learning different ways. So let's do Sayuta's way, one of the notorious goats, notorious pirates. So before you go on cannon, you just press X to stow. Oh, my X is. Actually, that's funny. My X is not stow. My X is my throwables key, but it's okay. I'll do stow. Alright, let's go. So I do my stow, and then you can just load a normal cannonball. Even though you have your firebomb in your hand, if the fact that you stowed, you press X right before you grab cannon, it just makes it so you're loading normal cannonballs right away in the beginning. Yeah, that is a good point. Somebody says you have to stop sprinting for a moment. Yeah, I think so. Well, it's minimal though. I mean, I think it's a minimal thing that, yeah. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Because I still had a blunder or a firebomb. Yeah, you have to stop for an instant. It's a very split of a second, I guess, but yeah, like me personally, I like the method that I showed just because I'm used to it. And I just come up, I start loading my thing, and I just simply swap to whatever I need, and boom. That, I feel like you can't really go wrong with that. That is pretty cool. All right, let's see. What else can we talk about? Oh, I want to say something else about reduce hold to interact. Let me get a merchant item here real quick.
Scared? You should be.
Because I want to show you something. If you want to be a true PvE lord, then you might need this.
Beware, perils await.
Oh, that was delayed. Okay, here we go. So, I basically want to teach you about the way items work in Sea of Thieves. So, a lot of people, you're playing an adventure, and you're at the end of your haul, your voyage, and you need to sell. You have to, let's say you're dropping things into the rowboat, and just for our demonstration, let's just say that, you know, down here, this is where the rowboat is, let's say. So, a lot of people, what they'll do, they'll look at the item they want to pick up, they wait until it's in their hands, and they go and they move where they need to go, and then they drop it, okay? And if you do this, it will take you unnecessarily long, because you actually don't have to look at items for the whole duration to pick them up. You basically just start, if you have reduced hold to interact, I just press F to start picking it up, and then I can look any direction I want, and the item will still go in my hands. So, for example, you know, I only looked at it in the beginning, but then it still appears in my hand. So what you want to do is be so fluid that the item never even shows up in your hands, but you can still move it from side to side. So this is an example. Well, I guess I kind of didn't do it perfect there, but let me try it again. That's a good example. So you don't have to wait all this time. You just simply started this because you have reduce hold to interact. I just tap F once, and then I could just go ahead and do that. So that's really, really cool. And obviously people are saying like, oh, there's more things you could do with the item. And of course, let's talk about loot sprint, because that's a huge thing. So loot sprinting, you pick up the item, you drop it, sprint, and you pick it up again. And different ways to do it. So you can actually, let's see here. So the way I learned it, it's like you want to have like a rhythm in your mind. Each one of those sequences is one cycle. So drop, sprint, pick up, that's one cycle, and then you do it again and again and again. And on your keyboard, it should basically sound like da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. It might take you to actually think about that sound for you to actually get it. But basically, let's see if we can do it. So da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. And if you do it perfect, it's possible again that you do it so smooth that you don't even see the item in your hands as you're going. So let's see if I can do it that well. See? Look at that. So the item wasn't even in my hands, but I knew the timing, and I was able to kind of get it. And one thing you could do for fun that's really, really cool is do it with a chest of 1,000 grogs. And if you're perfect at it, you'll never get drunk. So that is really, really, really cool. Something you could do. Now, you notice I wasn't looking down because this is kind of relatively flat, but a lot of experienced players, they'll flicker down when they're doing this. So it'll be like kind of like this. Oh, sorry. Okay, so it will look kind of like this. And the reason why they're doing that is because it allows them to make up for uneven terrains. Like they're gonna go up the stairs. Oh man, I messed it up. Let's go up the hill here instead. So they're going, kind of weird terrains. It's good to flick down. But if it's flat, you don't need to do that. You can also do it in water. And a lot of people that are learning, this is basically like the training wheels version, is you do it on the water. It's easier to do. And I will say this is also relying on the ping. So if your ping is higher than 120, that's when I start kind of thinking like maybe just do it on the water only, because in the water it's easier to do. On land it takes lower ping. So just try to do this on your home server only if possible. I would say should only try it outside of your home server once you're really pro with it. So you can do it on the surface. A lot of people don't know you can do it underwater, and this is kind of cool. Back in the day when the chest didn't have the big flare on top of it, people could swim to the outpost in a stealthy way just by doing loot sprint underwater. And actually, if you're practicing by yourself doing this, I recommend you practice underwater for one reason. Number one mistake when you're learning this is that you don't actually sprint in between. So I want to show you. Look, this is the animation of your character just swimming in the water without sprinting. Okay, you see the arms are moving in this way. Now if I sprint underwater, I do the full strokes, and that's what you need to pay attention to. You got to make sure in the in-between phase you're not doing this. You want to make sure in your in-between phase you're doing the full stroke like that. That's how you tell when you're practicing that you're doing it right. So I want to show you how it looks when it's wrong. I'll do it the wrong way, so you can see it. The wrong stroke. Now the correct way, and now you see the other stroke. So this is the really nice way. If you're struggling with loot sprint and you're like, oh my goodness, I don't know how to practice this. Well, this is it right here. This is how you learn until you get really good in the water, and you build up your confidence. Then you can go take it on land and really do it. So ahoy, so many people in the house, man. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Now, now that we're in water, I want to show something that is kind of interesting. And a lot of people always say in the NAL, it's like, oh, is DPI switching allowed? Okay, so the answer is no. DPI switching is not allowed. So that means that if you're a high sensitivity player on the ship and on land, you should also be a high sensitivity player in the water. And the same goes the other way. If you're a low sensitivity player on land, you should also be a low sensitivity player on the water. Why is that important? Because in the NAL, something that is allowed is a technique that we've named spazzing. Okay, spazzing is the term we use in the NAL for the technique you're about to see. So let's say Harry right now is in the water and I'm in a duel with him. So if he just shot and he's trying to reload, he can just do the spaz. Okay, do your best spaz that you can do, Harry. Okay, there you go. So you can see he's kind of flickering all over the place. It looks really weird. That's called spazzing. Okay, the higher the sensitivity of your character, the more dramatic this is going to be. Now you can do spazzing when even at low sensitivity, and the way it's performed is basically you're just gonna move your mouse in a wild pattern, and at the same time also WASD in a wild pattern as well. So from my camera, if I'm doing spazzing, this is what it's gonna look like. And Harry can see me all just teleporting all over the place. Is that right or no? Harry,
looks good to me.
You saw me spazzing, right?
Yeah, you were all over the place.
Okay.
Unhittable.
So that's how it's done. The way it's used is you basically shoot, and then when you're reloading, you're trying to mess up your opponent, and you're just basically doing this, hoping that you get your next shot. Now, not everything is perfect. Obviously, it's very disorienting when you're doing this. So it might not even be worth it, because you lose sight of your opponent, and then when you're ready to shoot, you might waste a little time looking around to like find them again. So it's not even for certain whether it's even worth doing it. But one thing I will say is, if you ever spot someone that is doing the spaz on you, you should not shoot them, because their character is not actually moving in such a crazy way. It just looks that way. The reality is the character is staying in a very close position to the center of the spaz. So spaz again, Harry. So instead of me going crazy left, so right, whatever, I just try to find like the center point of what he's doing, and I would just shoot over there, and chances are you'll hit him. The character is not actually moving like that. It just looks like that. That's all. But yeah, that's all for the spazzing. It's all for the spazzing. Okay. So now we should cover something with the sword. Why not? I'll show you some things you could do, because I think that well, the sword, obviously, oh man, it hurts me because it's you know, it used to be like really technical, and now it's much more limiting. But it doesn't mean that you don't have options. Okay, so I want to kind of give you guys some concepts, and you can just go free with them. So first of all, in the past we were able to sword lunge, and if you missed your hit, instead of getting stunned, you could actually hop around and cancel your stun animation. That used to be called the 0 cooldown. We can't do that anymore. So in order to get a similar effect, what we do is interact canceling. So anything that's interactable, you can actually use. So if you're gonna sword lunge, you know, basically, you can grab ladder, or you can, you know, sword lunge the cannoneers, and then, you know, you can grab a cannon. Like if you want to cancel out of it, you don't want to deal with that stun, you could grab cannon. You could do it on the map table, you know, and then you release. It's really cool. And another thing you should know is this right here, the harpoon. It has a hitbox, so you can actually lunge the harpoon. You hit it, and you don't get stunned at all. So if I try it on a cannon, look, I'm stuck. I have to wait. But if I hit the harpoon, all of a sudden I don't have that problem. So if you angle your lunge, you know, let's say you come to the front of the boat. For some reason they're gonna chase you, and you're not sure if you're gonna hit it, but you can kind of swing it like that, and you see I don't get stuck. You basically flick your mouse. I messed it up there, but you kind of flick it from the harpoon to the enemies, kind of similar to Mordhau, and you don't have to get stunned even if you miss your lunge. So, you know, something to keep in mind. Now, another thing that you should know with the sword is that you should always attack from a block. You shouldn't just M1 spam. Like the people that there's one thing that from my years of experience watching this game, if I see it, I know that is M1 spamming, just basic M1 spamming, and that is just like the person is just literally running around like this. And even if you have the reset, you can see the animation is a little bit different, because what you really want to see is holding the block and doing the slashes. Because what happens in Sea of Thieves, if you do both, like if you block while you're slashing, you have a chance that you can block and attack at the same time. So why not do that, right? There is a small chance you can actually, you know, have the enemy strike it perfect time, and you actually block and attack them at the same time. So that could sometimes make a difference. Another thing that you want to get used to doing, instead of just running around M1 spamming someone, and like Harry, run around. Yeah, just like I'm chasing you, but don't sprint, just run normal. Okay, and I'm chasing. You don't want to be this guy. You don't want to be this guy, okay? Or that guy. You don't want to be that guy. So one thing you could do is okay. So do it again, Harry. Do it again. So what you could do is you can sprint normal, and when you think you're in range, you hold the right click to block, and then you jump and left click at the same time. So keep running. Do your thing. And then, boom. And if you didn't get him, then you go ahead, keep running. I'll tell you when to stop. If you didn't get him, then you try again. But this is how you start, because the first slash, when you get him, he's gonna get stuck, and then you can continue your M1 spamming after that. But this is the way to do it. You don't want to just chase the person and just M1 spam with nothing in your mind. You know, this way you're doing your block jump slash, and then you have a chance to kind of get him stuck. So now let's see. Another reason why you want to block before you attack is because if you're lunging, if you just lunge without blocking first, you're very slow and limited in your motion. Whereas if you're blocking before you lunge, you have more freedom to move around. You have more freedom. So that's an important point. Also in the favor of the block. Obviously, the sword it allows you to swim quicker than normal as well. So if you lunge into the water, hold on, try it again. You lunge into the water. You'll basically, you know, go a further distance. And that's pretty cool. Alrighty. Let's see. What else should we do? This has been a lot so far. I guess we go back to the guns here, because there's some stuff. I see lanky tentacles in the house. One of the notorious pirates from QRF. So I guess we should talk about double gunning when he's here. Let's see. So one thing that we were talking about earlier was the quick swapping. Remember that you can swap weapons, but that delay that exists, the 1 second delay, you can't really get around it. If you decide to shoot the first time, you'll definitely have to wait or deal with the delay. So hold on, let me do it right. Yeah. So that's basically about as quick as you can quick swap. That as far as I know, which is basically you shoot, swap weapons, sprint, ADS, shoot again. Another thing is quick reloading. Okay, quick reloading. This is very important for any double gunner. What you want to know is that if you shoot and you do nothing, you just wait for the regular animation, that has a certain time, and it takes longer than if you do reload canceling, which is basically you want to stow, so XX after you shoot. That's what it looks like, and by a little bit, your shot is actually going to be faster. So if you're in the water, let's say, and you're doing your reload canceling and your opponent is not doing that, you will get to shoot a little bit before them, and then you can kill them. So I would definitely make sure you kind of practice your reload canceling. So yeah, let's see, try it again here. It works with all the guns. Works with all the guns. And actually the reload canceling, back in the day, my favorite combo used to be actually sword pistol. That used to be my favorite thing back when the sword was different. And what I could do, the reload on the pistol is much shorter than the other weapons. And if you cancel the reload, it's even quicker. So your reload on your pistol is almost gonna be the same speed as someone double gunning, switching from one gun to the next. So it's another thing to keep in mind. This is really fast if you do the reload cancel. And the pistol, by the way, is also the most accurate gun to use with hip fire. So I would never really hip fire an Eye of Reach. However, pistol is really close to the middle of the screen. It has very little variance, and you could really just track the opponent. You know, you could practice tracking. There are different ways of aiming, and in my opinion, with pistol, tracking is the way to go. You track, which basically you see. I'm trying to keep Harry in the middle of my screen, and then boom. You know, with the hip fire from the pistol is really strong. So Sanguine is one of the best at this from the Blood Tallyman. And if you're struggling with your sensitivity, I have a little trick that you can use. Some people are always wondering, like, oh, what's your sensitivity? Every player is different. I guess I'll tell you how I do it, and then other people can, I guess, do it their own way. But as far as the DPI, I am at 800 DPI, and my trick is this: I stand in the door, I put my mouse in the middle of my mouse pad, and then I move my mouse to the right a comfortable amount that I feel like I'll be able to do no problem. And I should be able to do a 180. So I go from looking at the chair to looking at the main mast. And now my mouse is in the middle of my mouse pad. This, for me, I was able to achieve with 800 DPI. And my sensitivity is 2.1. So I am a low sensitivity player, and you'll find low sensitivity players in all games, and you'll also find high sensitivity players in all games. This is just my preference, and this is my trick. So that is how I do it. That is how I do it. Harry, do you want to talk about your sensitivity? Maybe people want to know about yours.
Yeah, I mean, I play on kind of an oddly high sensitivity. I play 1800 DPI with a 1.3 cents, so it's high relative to a lot of the other people that play, but it kind of just works for me. So
Yeah. Okay. So very high DPI, but really low on the in-game. So I mean, really, at the end of the day, I feel like everybody's sensitivity is really about their own preference, what feels good to them. I showed my little trick, but yeah, I mean, if it works, no one can question that for you. You know, if it works, it works. But look at that, pay ray is even lower than me. Oh, what is that true? Pay ray says he's 800 at 1.1. I find that hard to believe. Detonator 2400 DPI with 8 cents. Oh man. Okay. So we talked about the sword, we talked about the guns, we talked about the boarding, but not all the way actually. I mentioned that the better the crew is, the less chance that you'll just be able to go and drop anchor and, you know, have your full slay out. The better crews, you have to be crafty about it. And many times the boarders are not even going for anchor at all in the beginning. As a boarder, you know, you have to think. You're putting your team at a disadvantage because they have to fight the broadside, a crew member down. So you have to make it count. Okay, you have to make it count. So one thing you could do. Actually, remember I recommend having blunderbuss out when you're doing this. But one thing you could do is just go slay out the helm. You know, a lot of people they're not ready for the helm kill. You know, everyone's expecting the cannon kill or run straight to anchor, and a lot of people are not expecting the helm kill. So that could be something that you do that is kind of throwing them off a little bit. Something else that you could do is obviously you can come in, you get the kill on the cannon, you can lower the anchor, and then you have two options. You can run down, or you can run back up out here by the wheel, which actually I kind of prefer that because I'll show you. So what happens is you lower anchor, and then Harry, you catch it. Pretend like you're the enemy crew and you're gonna catch it. Okay, so I'm gonna come in here, slay out one person, drop anchor, then I come out here, and then I make distance, and now I can easily snipe Harry or whatever. Easily snipe him. Not just that, I can be really annoying. Blunder bomb to secure the anchor. Look how strong that is, by the way. So blunder bombs are really good for many things. You know, on a ship, they're really good for pushing a ship or pulling them. As a boarder, well, I mean, number one, you're in a 4v1 scenario. You're not supposed to win those. So you're already at a, you know, you basically, you have to use your intelligence, craftiness, the element of surprise. If you pick up the initial kill on the cannon or on the wheel, already your odds just went up way higher. Like your odds of slay out are way higher in the first moments of the board if you get the kill. Then if you manage to do the anchor thing and have someone, you know, get on it, then you're basically even higher odds, because now you really got them. You can mess them up. I showed you the blunder bomb thing, but one thing you can also do is throw fire. And then all of a sudden, what happens is, all the kills that would normally take me 2 shots to kill with the Eye of Reach, now they're 1-shot kills because I use the fire to my advantage. So that's like, you have to think like that. As a boarder, when you're at a disadvantage, 4v1, how are you going to get those kills? So, you know, all of a sudden, now you have a whole bunch of 1-shot kills. And that's good. That's good. It also causes chaos and panic on the ship, and that's really what you want as a boarder. It doesn't matter if you sink them, if you're distracting them, if you're annoying them. If you can be as annoying as possible, then you're doing your job. Now, one of the things that kind of came up recently was something that's known as the pixel jump. You could do that. It's really cool. How you... Oh, look at that. Harry's such a pro at that already. I don't know how many people knew. Let's see here. There you go. So you can actually do that move. That's called the pixel jump. And one thing that happens is, against really inexperienced teams, the boarder runs up here by the helm, and then you just jump off the side, and they'll think like, oh, you know, the players off the ship, they're gonna watch on their ladder. So, you know, then you usually see them. They're like watching ladders. You could literally run up behind them and just one-top blunder them. But one thing, so teams got used to that. Actually, teams got used to that. So what they're doing now, they see the boarder coming in. They're doing the balcony thing, and 9 times out of 10, the boarders are doing this path here. This is the path they're doing. You know, they go around, then they come here, jump on the little porch here, and then they go to the anchor, and then they, you know, or do it the other way. So where Harry is, so many people are standing there because they are already waiting for the boarder to jump like this, and just immediately here, one tap. And then all of a sudden, the peg leg worthy montage is over. So the pixel jump is something cool to avoid that. So what happens is when you get around the corner here, instead of going through, you jump on the little railing, and the markers are this. So first of all, you look at this vertical line on the hull, and then you can trace it down, and then you'll see there is this line on this frame. This is where you're gonna stand. So your character doesn't go down. So you put your character in line with this, but when you're jumping, you're trying to land on top of this part. So hopefully I get it. There it is. And then boom, on the first try, it's not hard actually to do it like this where there's no pressure. But when you're doing it in the heat of battle with your heartbeat racing and with all the adrenaline and people chasing you and all, it's not easy to do. So it's a great way to get the crowd going. If you actually get to see a move like that performed under duress, is something amazing. And Harry's done that. I also saw Mino hanging out in there. Mino's been able to do that as well in the heat of battle. So that's super cool to see. So that is the pixel jump right there, in case you did not know. Let's see. What else can we do? I feel like we've covered a lot of the mechanics of oh, actually no, wait a minute. All done. We covered a lot, but there's more. Because we talked about borders, but we haven't talked at all about deckhanding. And there's some things that you really should know that are absolutely game changers. So, one of the biggest problems as Helm is that you can actually have people using the fire bombs from the other crews, and all of a sudden you have a whole fire going on in here, and it's just terrible. You have this whole thing, it's just full of fire. Whoa, Zetsu with the sub, thank you so much. Oh, Gontrop wants to see the pixel jump again. Okay, let's try it. See if I can get it again. So you come up here, it only works on this side, by the way. You line up your character with the vertical line here that I'm showing you on the hull. And then you're trying to jump, so you land on this little curve of the frame. So if you get it right, then boom. And then you jump again, and you're through. That is the pixel jump. But, so I want to focus now on the situation with the fire. Okay, so, you know, 9 times out of 10, the crews are just gonna say, "Oh, I have fire," and then either a crew member comes in, splashes it, or the helm comes in and puts it out. But I want to go the extra mile. I want to show you the next level. You grab your water from the barrel right here, and then you come to the map table. You line up your bucket below the rivets, below this bottom rivets here, and then just throw. Let's see. You see, the first patch. See, there were 2 patches. I threw 2 fire bombs. The first one, where your helm is, right? That went out. As simple as that. And even look at that. Harry was able to put the second one from down there. So even the really bad fires that's just a pain. Oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? You don't have to waste all that time and come up and grab the water and run up here, and you get all frustrated, and all of a sudden you get killed by a cannonball when you're running around with your bucket. No, you just do it to the next level. You practice it. You should go on an adventure like we are. Put the ship on fire. Just, yeah, the basic setup is you come right here, line up your bucket right below the rivets. So the rivets that I'm talking about, this thing's right here. Put your bucket right below the rivets, and you just let it rip. Boom. Harry, did you use that same lineup, or did you use a different one?
I kind of just approximated it. It was generally, you gotta go kind of high, or like lower than you think you might have to. It comes out kind of weird at this angle. You'll hit the top of it a little bit, but the way I do it is like kind of just aim, yeah, I'd say for like the second or the third horizontal line of metal, I'd say.
The third horizontal line of metal. Oh, but doesn't it look like it splashes back?
Yeah, it's kind of finicky, especially from going upwards like that. I've seen at least.
Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay, so you basically, yeah, you have to play with it. You gotta get used to it. Like if your role is deckhand or support, whatever, it's even more important that you know this. So practice it, because you can make a big difference for your team if you're doing this. Okay, it's more efficient, and right now the way the meta is literally all about efficiency. The crews that are taking all the shortcuts that they possibly can, those are the ones that are gonna be super successful. So someone says option 4, bucket super soaker from the water. So I'm not sure if he meant to have someone like out here doing, I guess, like, well, if your whole ship is on fire and you're anchored and okay, you go in the ocean and just bucket XX from the water.
No, there's also you can also do something cool. While the ship is moving, you can jump down here and grab water at the same time, and then have a full bucket coming up. It's kind of difficult to do. Oh, like that.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I have a bucket.
Let me try that. Oh yeah, look at that.
Like,
oh no, I didn't. Oh, what? It made the sound, but I didn't get it.
Like that. You got it, I think.
Yeah, I got it. So there you go. A little extra thing. I didn't know that, so thank you, Harry, for that. But one thing you should know is if you're gonna put fire the old school way, like by going to it and actually, you're gonna throw water on it. Don't just throw it with the left click. You should definitely splash yourself, because if you do it that way, you have a chance to put out more fire around you than just the one that you throw specifically on a certain patch. So that's why you see a lot of the helms and the whole thing's on fire. You'll see them just come up here by the wheel and they just literally splash themselves like that. This single splash, it puts out this fire down here. It puts out the little patch on the left, and also puts out the little patch on the right with just the same water. So you look around.
It also might be worth mentioning on the actual water bucket over here, you can animation cancel the pump. I don't know if you talked about that already, but
no, I haven't. Let me see if I can do it.
Yeah.
The animation cancel on the pump. Yeah, that's good to know. So
you don't need to full pump it. Yeah.
Like that's what you mean? Like left click.
Here, let me empty it. Here, do you want me to share my screen on Discord and do it?
Well, I don't have a way to show that. You would have to look at what I'm doing on the stream and just tell me if that's what you mean.
Yeah. Here, go for it.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, just like that.
Okay, so guys, that's just basically you're imagine you're like XXing, but it's just with left click. So once you see the water is gone in, you just literally double click again. The moment you see the water coming out, you double click. It's actually, you know what's funny? We talked about XX on with the reload canceling, with the loot sprint, with the barrel. For digging, it works as well. Quick digging, shovel XX for the stove. The quick dig, in case you didn't know, also is quite helpful.
The famous high and dry shovel XX.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I have one firebomb. Now, I'm going to throw that in the lower deck of our ship so we can hopefully pop a hole and just show a little bit about bucketing technique.
Oh, nice.
So, let's go through... Oh, there's water here. Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, so hopefully that will do its thing. It'll pop some holes, but while we wait for that, what I want to show you is there are actually two main ways to do your buckets. And it depends on the situation. So if you have to move, right, if you have to bucket in motion, one of the most efficient things you could do is actually sprint cancel your bucket. I see this all the time. In my opinion, it's a mistake. So people learn of XX, bucket XX, right? They learn about it. You know, they do their bucket XX, and it's like, oh, okay, great. You know, they get so happy with that, and all of a sudden they're doing it in all situations. They're doing it in all situations. So, you know, bucket XX, and then they run, and then they're like, okay, bucket XX, and then they run, and that's actually, you think you're doing it right, you're not doing it right. When you got a bucket in motion, you just left click and sprint, and that's called sprint canceling. There is literally no animation at all that you're doing. You're getting the water in your bucket, and that's it. So it looks like this. You hear the sound, you see the water. There was no bucketing. So I agree, right? Bucket XX is better than doing no bucket XX. But you're doing an animation. You don't have to. You don't have to do the animation. So why do the animation? A lot of, you know, especially back in the day when there was no great bucketing, we saw this all the time. And people are like, they're doing this thing. And so, yeah, sprint cancel, really good for bucketing motion. And it also works when you're throwing out the water. You just, as soon as the water is out, then you can sprint. If you do it too early, you can cancel out of your water going out. That's bad. So, you know, don't do that. Because look, I'm doing it too early, and now my water's not going out. I have to wait for the water to go out, and then I can do it. So
a really good really good practical use for this is when you're rebowling and coming back up for shots. So like up on the ship here, when you actually grab your courtesy bucket from down below and you're coming back up to go get back on cannons.
Yeah, sprint cancel is good for that, right?
Yeah, you come up here, you'll grab your courtesy. I'll wait for you to get over here.
Did we get our holds yet?
Yeah, we have holes.
Okay, nice. Nice.
So you run up, kind of on the stairs here. What I'll do is I'll pause it, spring cancel, hop on the cannon.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. So this is a great example. So right now, you know, you're grabbing this. Okay, perfect. So pay attention here. So many people do this in a mindless way without thinking, but there's a way. Okay. You come to grab your cannonballs. Now at this point, if you want to go back to your ship to shoot cannons, you can turn your camera this way and go back and get on the cannons. Or you can turn your camera to the right and do the same thing. Now, it's far better as a good habit to turn your camera to the right because that gives you information. How much water do you have? If you are currently having this bad habit that you get your cannonballs and you turn to the left, you have no information. You're just staring at the hull of your ship. And that is just one of those things you might not do, or you might not be thinking about that, but you might be doing that. And so you should really make sure that you're kind of picking up good habits. So you get your cannonballs, go to the right, you see there's a little water. Okay, courtesy bucket just means that you get your cannonball, you grab your bucket, sprint cancel because you're doing it in motion, right? So remember, whenever you're bucketing in motion, sprint cancel. And then what you do is, you know, you get on, you splash the water, you get on the cannon. Another thing you could do, this is more risky. You can, okay, you get your cannonballs, you grab your water with the sprint cancel, and you can just keep your water in your bucket. If your ship gets hit with firebomb, you already have it. So it just, you're like, oh no, we got firebomb. Okay, you get off it, you deal with it, and then you carry on. Okay, that's really great. So as a rule, as a good habit, as a crew member, it is a good idea to go up deck with water, but it's a bad idea to go below deck with water. So just also an extra thing you have to think about in your mind. Okay, so we got our sprint cancels. You can do that, or you can hold it for fire. Now, let's say this is a lot more water than that. Okay, a lot more water. So what we started seeing in the NAL is the great bucketing. So the way I learned it is basically you come up, you do your buckets, and then right below. Okay, so there is this corner metal frame right there. It's hard to see at night, but that's what I'm trying to line up. I put my bucket below that. I stand in the middle of the map table, I put my bucket below that, throw it out. And then I just literally do the repetitions. And a lot of people, when the water is at a low level, like this, they won't do the bucket XX at all, actually. Because what happens is, if you mess it up once, if you mess up your bucket XX once, it's already slower than if you hadn't done that. So instead what people will do is, they'll just they'll pre-click so that when you go down, it's already going in like that. So like I'm already left clicking my bucket as I'm running down, so that by the time I land below, I'm at the last moment of my bucket animation. And this is something that is very easy to do, that you can reliably do when the water level is low, like this. Okay, water level is low, you can reliably do this like that. It's a great thing. Low risk of messing it up, no problem. If the water level is high, then you certainly have to bucket XX, because that just isn't gonna increase the frequency that you can do it. And so, you know, you bucket XX on both parts of it. Obviously we don't have that many holes, but if we did, then this would be the way to do it. And if somebody is in a perma bucket mode, meaning they're doing this like non-stop, let's say it's the last minute of the game, as a helm, you should kind of have a little bit of a courtesy and just tell the guys like, hey, I'm running to cannon or something. Just because in this moment, when the helm is doing this, it's possible for a backsplash, and that could really sink a ship. Just sometimes one backsplash is all it takes, so just keep that in mind. And actually, talking about backsplash, the super smart plays we're seeing for borders, they're coming out here on the grate and they're doing emotes, they're messing around, they're just standing on here, causing the backsplash, and that is so deadly, so deadly. So that is definitely something. The big old gal. Actually, the first player that I recall doing it was Zayuta, back in season 4, and I think she did it on Sloop Deluxe one day. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the first one that comes to mind. All right. So that is a lot of information. That is a lot of information, and we could go on because we haven't even touched strategy like I thought I was gonna cover. But at the same time, I feel like we've gotten to the point where our brains are already they're already kind of at the limit of the absorption, knowledge absorption. So I think it's a good time now to kind of take questions here. So we're gonna look in the chat and see what's happening. Do you guys have any questions about the stuff that we covered today? Anything you'd like to see again? Crack the tabs is, how do I load a cannonball? You know, and that sounds like a very basic thing, but we showed that you can actually load the cannonballs pretty good by just doing the reduce hold to interact. You tap R once instead of holding it.
Also, if you're on cannon 3 right here,
yeah.
Ridge, if you play this cannon like I do,
yeah,
you can do a number of things. Like just from the stairs here, you can just instantly grab the cannon from the stairs directly.
Yeah.
So you'll see me just teleport out. And you can also preload a cannonball or a blunder bomb from here.
Yeah, of course.
So if you,
yeah.
So if you're under pressure, you can just quickly load
it's
that ball,
huge.
You know?
Yeah, that's a huge point. Yeah. So usually this is the cannon used by the support players. You know, cannon 3. That's just basically assuming the cannon 1, the front cannon, cannon 2, cannon 3, cannon 4. So I guess so. Some teams do it that way. Other teams start cannon 1 from the ladder here. But what Harry's saying is, as a support player, it's really helpful to go on that cannon because you can clip through the ceiling. So there's a little part of the hull here, the ceiling of the middle deck. You can just clip right through it, if you're just spamming F as you go, and then boom, you can get on the cannon. But if you're under heavy pressure, you know, one blunderbomb can change the tide of that whole broadside, and you can load it from here. So you don't have to expose yourself to getting one-balled. You can load it from here, and then when you have it ready to go, then boom, and you shoot it. All of a sudden, you know, you pull the ship in, and the tide of battle shifts in your favor, and that's huge. We've seen it a lot of times. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, one more thing. For bilges, sword hopping underneath the water is something that's really big for movement.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Like,
yeah, let me show that.
jump, block, jump, jump.
Yeah, yeah. Most deckhands you're seeing in the NAL, they have. Just make sure we don't sink. All right, so
Yeah, I got you.
you'd have your plank here. You're doing your thing, okay? And then, oh, we really only had the one hole.
Don't repair that.
Okay, yeah. So let's say we had many holes. So we had one hole here or one hole there. So you start your plank here, then you then you go to the next hole, go to the next hole, go to the next hole, next hole, the next, and I've seen a lot of people. They like to just jump like this as well. That's what they like. But even this is much slower than the sword hop. You know, you could see a big difference in the speed.
The tech is actually you block jump like this, you then regular jump and block jump like this.
Oh yeah, okay. Oh, this is the bunny hopping that we used to see all the this is the old school. I kind of want to show this on land now because it's been a long time, and it's gonna lead up into what Lanky said, because I did see that, Lanky. I'm not trying to get away from that. I did see what you said. But back in the day with the sword, there used to be a way to tell like if a pirate was really new or not new. So this was basically the thing right here. The bunny hop, you know, block jump, regular jump, block jump, regular jump, block jump, regular jump. This was the bread and butter, and we practice this all the time because this was a key part of zero cooldown sword canceling. So yeah, if you know what, if you're a deckhand, make sure you can do this. Okay, make sure you can do this because, you know, if we are on the ship, underwater, then you'll definitely be using that. So there it is. There it is. Oh well, now it's not slowing down. It's not slowing us down, Harry.
My bad. Yeah, it's basically essential though for getting around fast, especially when you need to get more wood from the front holes.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, it can make a big difference.
Do you want to cover fire strat or?
No, not today. That's for the Dragon Slayer Lance special.
I
I would never dare to take that away from that man. He is the at this point he's the main head of the face of the fire strat right now. Okay, so that's the bunny hop, but actually later we realized that jumping is death in Sea of Thieves. Lanky says, don't give that to him. Well, obviously QRF in season 3, they say fire strat for the finals, and it was mind-blowing, and they won the NAL. It was making their crew way more efficient. Then they added great bucketing, which many teams said, you know what, fire strat is obsolete, right? And that's why I say that Lance is the main phase of fire strat right now. It's because regardless of what other people are saying, he was so blown away by QRF and what they did in the final that he's still doing fire strat. So I guess, you know, people now might be thinking, okay, what is fire strat? We don't have fire bombs, right? Do you have one?
I have one, yeah, I think.
Okay, let's see if we can show one example of the fire strat. Yeah, so there you go, what Harry's doing. You put yourself on fire, and then you put yourself out. He's doing the new version that's more efficient, where you go down. I've never... Oh, but he put it out.
Yeah, I'm not a fire strat connoisseur like Lance is, so...
Yeah, that's what takes practice, is to not put it out. But the disadvantage is you're using a firebomb on your own ship, and you take damage, the advantage is that you cannot backsplash. So, you know, maybe you get boarded and they're thinking like, oh, 200 IQ play, you're gonna stand on the grade. Well, if you're doing fire strat, then it doesn't really matter. So if I was boarding, I guess Lance might not like me for saying this, but if I'm boarding him because I know he likes fire strat, then I guess I'm not even gonna bother with doing this because I know it won't work on him. So it's one of those things about the knowledge of studying your opponent, and that's why the NAL we have the VODs of the players, and everyone is studying each other so much. That is a super important thing. But going back to what I was gonna say, with the, you know, we figured out that jumping is death in Sea of Thieves. So you're doing this thing. Back in the day, we're like, oh great, you know, this is fantastic, cool. Now we know better than that, and you know, basically anytime you're jumping, you're very easy to predict on the air, and you can get shot so easily. So what Lanky was saying, it's the ENOS. So ENOSing is I think it stands for like
East North American Strafe.
Yeah, there you go. East North American Strafe. And what it really is just basically it's zigzagging. But if you wanna sound like an epic gamer, you say ENOS instead of zigzag. But basically think about sprinting, and what happens is if you're sprinting and you move your mouse too wildly to the left. Oh, hold on. There it is. If you're sprinting and you change direction too quickly, your character just stops sprinting. Okay? So then the ENOS, really what happens is when you're doing your zigzags, it's a good habit to just keep spamming shift as well, so that in case that you move too wildly, you go back into sprinting right away. So basically, you know, you're looking for this. This makes the hit reg like a big nightmare for people. So a lot of people, a lot of boarders, they love to run around the ships like that and just do the strafes, the ENOS. And back in the day with Jabron, he used to do ENOSing in mixture with a sword, and then this was called perfect agility, which is basically ENOS with block jumping. And then he'd come out of an ENOS and then straight into the sword lunge, or, you know, other things that we had. But that's kind of disorienting, so I kind of I already apologize in case I made you dizzy just looking at it. But I promise you, it makes you a little dizzy, but it makes their opponents really much more frustrated because they can't hit you, and that's ENOSing. So let's see. When super bucket the speed of the ship and also where the ship is turning also have a role to play if you're backsplashing or not. Right. Okay. So
I think by super bucket he means great bucket.
Yeah, great bucket. So if the ship is moving and you get hit with blunder bombs and all that stuff, of course it will impact it, and you have a higher chance to backsplash. Oh, this is good. Yeah, you have a higher chance to backsplash. Look how efficient that is. Harry's doing the great bucketing, and look, it was almost middle deck, and now he's almost got it down. So one thing that you need to know. Okay, let's say that the water is rising dangerously close to the middle deck. So you may get to a point where you have to bucket while standing still, and that means you basically great bucket. You just simply, you know, you're stowing from here, bucket XX, and you're trying to just do great bucketing. Now this, if you're gonna do this, just make sure, like, if you have another teammate, don't pick the same spot, or you just backsplash on each other. So maybe you have one person on the map table, you can have another person on the other side here. But the moment you get hit with a blunder bomb, boom, everybody backsplashes and it's a nightmare. So this is only an intermediate step. If you're really determined to hold middle deck, the best place is from the stairs. This is much safer, less chance. Even if you get hit with a blunder bomb, you can actually do very well and just, you know, handle it from here. So basically you start from here. You might use this as an intermediate step, or maybe you call your teammate, you know, you're like, I'm holding map, go stairs, and your teammate just literally stands on the stairs, and then you can swap roles, because that's the safer way to hold it than holding it from map table, where it's just so easy to backsplash. Is there anything else? We're taking questions in the chat. Anything else that you guys would like to get clarification on? Obviously, there was more to cover with ship strategies and all that, but I think we are already kind of at the point we need to start relaxing. Crack the taps is how to scuttle. And we can quickly say, you know, my crew, scuttle ship. Boom.
There are definitely a few people who need to learn how that works, you know. It is definitely one of the first hurdles of the new NAL team, is learning when to scuttle.
That's true.
But, yeah.
Raise Anchor says, you can get pineapples and other food in the arena. Can you also get cursed cannonballs? No. There is no cursed cannonball in the arena, and there are no kegs as well. Okay? So, and then Diego says, how long should you take between alternating left and right rotation for an optimal ENOS? So, the answer for that is creativity. It's all about being unpredictable. So, you know, I can be really wild and do this, but if I'm always doing the same, hey, they're gonna catch on to it. So I would say there's no such thing as optimal. It's just about unpredictable. And what that means is that when people are studying you, you know, are you going more to the right? Are you going more to the left? Do you keep it short? Do you go extra long to one side or not? I mean, it's literally creativity. It's all it is. It's up to your own creativity, how long you make each of the steps to be unpredictable. That's the whole point. So, you know, maybe one day you do them really short and it works, and then the next time your opponent is thinking, oh, they're gonna do it really short. So then, you know, then you have to go extra wider for the next time and keep them guessing. So that's the best thing I can tell you for that. Laylate said, how do you feel the fact that arena meta is kind of only cannon farming? So the you know, in regards to the meta at the moment, I feel that there's a lot more than cannon farming. Cannon farming is kind of the end result. You hope that you end up in the cannon farm situation, but getting there takes a lot of skill. You have to learn how to demass ships, how to be aware of the third parties. There's a lot of strategy and naval and awareness that you have to know. So it's very easy to dismiss the meta as cannon spam meta. But the truth is, getting to that point of where you're farming is not easy. It's easier said than done. And for those that miss the island battles and the classic Arena 1.0, we are testing out different game modes, like you saw, like Reaper's Arena or Gauntlet, and that's also something that we like. So just different ways to enjoy the game and play the arena. So Sayuta says, instead of scuttling, if you have an angle, you can make as many points as you can while leaving only one person bailing until they can't hold it anymore and just let it go. So you can make 1,000 points before sinking, and that basically pays off for your own scuttle. And then Tom Peters says, does someone do ENOS on Xbox controller with default mappings? It ain't easy. And yeah, I would say it's not easy, and you probably need high sensitivity for that.
For sure, yeah.
Can you show us how to tuck behind the wheel so the helm doesn't notice us?
Is that a top dog request?
No, that was Alpha Cheek.
Ah, okay.
Alpha Cheek with the wheel tuck. Well, barrel, that's kind of the meme. I mean, if somebody doesn't see the barrel, that's like next level. You deserve to get tucked on. But yeah, the hide emo like this, like Harry. Or if you're doing it the other way, do it where you're, yeah. Oh, no. I mean with your head to the helm. Your head to the helm. There you go. Yeah, this is I think is the, or even there's the lay on deck emote. I don't know if you have that one. Oh yeah. Do it again. Oh, it's not as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's a bit too long.
Hey man, no, what? Harry's too skinny, so that works for him.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what else. So Diego says, is the prevalence of mids over lowers due to teams wanting to avoid sync for more farm, or is that just long-range cannon shots that come down more from above and everyone in NL is cracked? at long range shots. Oh, okay. So I think that when you're fighting another ship, number one is win the broadside, and there are multiple ways to win the broadside. Depends at the range. I would say at max range or long distance, it's really not even about whether you're hitting lower or top deck. It's just hit, and a lot of people are just simply, if they manage to get a kill or they put a lower hole or they break wheel, it's kind of lucky. I wouldn't worry about where I'm hitting at long range. I would just focus on hitting. That's more important. Now, medium range, that's when you start seeing the fine-tuning and stuff, and that really all depends. At the beginning of broadsides, it's not uncommon to have the majority of the crew focus on the enemy cannon line just to keep pressure off your ship, while one of the crew members, usually the support player, is putting lower holes. And the lowers are important because you'll get a guy off cannon just because they have to go repair. And if you put the holes in the front of the ship, it's even better because now you have a deckhand that's committed to the front holes over here and can't bucket. You can really you can't do much here when you're already this far in the ship and the water's rising. So you're almost certainly gonna have to call for assistance, and that means if you put lower holes on the front ship, you're taking 2 people off cannons, and that's huge. So even if you don't get the kill, it's more guaranteed to take people off cannons by putting those front holes, and that's why you see that stuff happening.
Yeah, that's the thing with close broadsides, especially. You really your first priority should be controlling the cannon line. So generally, how we do it is we just get 1 kill or attempt to get a kill or get them off cannons at least. And then once we have control of the cannon line, then we just put like 1 or 2 people on lowers, and that'll just send instantly 2 people down, 1 from repairing, 1 bucketing, and then it's GG's basically. So yeah, it's all about controlling their players really in a close broads.
So Kayonis says, do skinnier characters have a smaller hitbox? And I guess I can't tell you 100%, but since I've been playing the game at launch, my belief has been that no, they don't. But obviously, just visually, because they're skinnier, they're harder to track. So people like to use those characters for that reason. So visually, of course, Harry's pirate is more difficult to track than a big-boned pirate. So that's what I would say. But the hitbox itself, I don't think the hitbox itself is bigger, just visually, and that's why people are using that.
Yeah, I'd say it gives you some sort of an advantage. And people just give up on hitting you sometimes,
Yeah. So Daedron is already thinking ahead of the doing more specific for the different positions and stuff like that. And yeah, I think it's important to do. We'll consider that in other editions of the NAL Academy. So Jailer says broadsides are much more organized in EU compared to NA. Okay, that's one that is up for debate, I guess. I'm not sure if the NA teams would agree with that. I guess maybe. What do you think, Harry?
It's a bit more pandemonium for sure in NA. I mean, EU is kind of more, I don't know, it feels like classical music when you watch an EU game like kind of roll out, With NA, it's kind of like crazy,
heavy metal.
Everything's going everywhere. Yeah, it's in my opinion more frantic. Yeah.
Classical music versus heavy metal.
Indeed. That's about as good as I can put it.
Okay. So, let's see what else here we got. Okay. So, Top Dog says NA is organized chaos, EU follows the script. Okay, another way of putting it. But I guess now we are gonna conclude this part of the NAL Academy broadcast, and we'll go in and now give more highlight to our friend here, Harry, who is helping us today with the show. So you can leave the game now, Harry, if you want. It's at the desktop. All right. So Harry, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you're in Barnacle Buds, but I want you to tell people about your team and your role on the team.
Yeah, so my name's Harry, obviously, as you can tell. I'm on Barnacle Buds, and I play flex or support. I'm not sure what the nomenclature is for, the older sort of position names, but yeah, I play flex. So I take the third cannon, and we have, our 4 players are normally me, Saranzo, lowered status, and Sincere Bohem on the helm. So, we kind of just work well together as 4 and try to do our best and, kick some butt while we're at it, That's kind of the plan.
That's amazing. So, guys, Barnacle Buds, they are in the season 5 at the moment. And so, obviously, hoping to get in that round of fate, secure that spot in the grand finals. For me, Barnacle Buds, it sticks in my mind as a team that is, above all, is all about the friendship and the journey, improving together as a team and the loyalty to each other. I've seen that, and I really admire that. And it also took a piece of my heart when you guys played in the Ranked Arena Alpha Final, and you came so close to winning that thing. I was really, it was almost the Cinderella story, and now I'm really excited. I hope you guys can make it to the Grand Final Season 5, because it seems like you're a team that really rises to the occasion, and I love that. Absolutely love that. I want to show you guys the Barnacle Buds team intro, because in case you haven't seen it, it's one of the coolest intros we got in the NAL. So let's enjoy this for a moment. There's Bohem, Sincere. Got it. Iron Sea Dab, Gab. Harry and lowered status. Saranzo and Purple Turkey. So watch out, that is the Barnacle Buds squad. Absolutely love them. And amazing epic logo. A lot of compliments for the Barnacle Buds for their logo. And I have to agree with that. And by the way...
No, yeah, I was just going to say huge shout out to Beth, who made our logo. Bethany, or Encore on Discord. She's a really great artist, and we thank her for a lot of the graphic design work that she does. So, but that intro was also like a really big project for us, and it took us a lot of work to actually film.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I can tell that it was not done in a slacking way. I mean, you guys went the extra mile. You got the full server for the ships, and just line up perfectly. And of course, the Barnacle ship is such a great cosmetic for your team. You can kind of relate a little bit, because in my team, when I was playing the Gravetides, there was actually a figurehead that was added for the... I think it's called, what is it? Bright something. But it basically...
Blighted?
Looks like... So, say it again?
Blighted?
Blighted. The Blighted set. Yeah, the Blighted set. Yeah, that's right. And it has the hands like reaching out, and it looks just like the Gravetides logo. So I love it. And like not every team has it, but Barnacle Buds definitely has got something like that with that ship cosmetic. Gravetides has it. I wish that Forsaken Sun was still playing, because the new Season 2 pass actually has some Phoenix stuff that would be cool for their team. Maybe they come out and actually... use that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one thing I want to mention as well, guys. So you hear Harry here from Barnacle Buds, And actually, in the NAL community, we're running unofficial scrims every day. Teams are practicing as much as they can. They want to hone in their skills because they want to win the NAL. They want to become the best crew on the seas. So I just want to point out one thing here. If you guys want to follow with the Barnacle Buds, they'll be playing in a match tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I'm not sure who are playing there, but maybe they're streaming and you guys can go check them out. Harry, do you have any information with that?
As far as what?
Do you guys stream your unofficial scrims or no?
Oh yeah, all the time. Me and Saranzo especially are most of the time the two streaming our sets. Yeah, you can catch us. I think Saranzo's is twitch.tv/Saranzo and mine is Harry44__. So kind of a mouthful, but you'll get there eventually, you know.
Okay.
But
okay.
yeah, it's definitely a blast. Yeah.
That's what's up, guys. There you have it. So if you want to check out Barnacle Buds, cheer on Harry. Again, that's gonna be tonight. We're not casting that here from NAL. Those are unofficial scrims. But you can be a Barnacle Buds supporter and watch Saranzo and Harry as they look to practice and get closer to that NAL victory. In case you have not seen it, the ultimate prize that awaits the champions of the Notorious Arena League are the Notorious Arena League sales. And let's check them out right now.
Fortune and victory, or death if we fail. Yo-ho, all to see, for riches or ruin in the Notorious Arena League.
Be notorious, so notorious, notorious arena league. Will you drink from the winners in the notorious arena league?
When you become notorious, this sales will ensure that your victories are recognized. And then right there, that is the NAL Cup for the champions. We've seen so many Notorious Pirates hanging out with us today, and that is a great honor because it's very rare to have people who have won those sales. We've had we've seen Elric. I don't know how many people knew this, but Castaway Elric actually won the NAL Season 1 with QRF. He does have the NAL sales, and I was very happy to see him since the start. We also have Zayutelin from Goats on Boats. We saw Lanky also from QRF. Exility asks, how old do you have to be to play in the NAL? Somebody said 18 plus. That is false. There is no age requirement in the NAL. We are more concerned with the maturity of the players. So if you are below 18, but if you are mature, you can play. So there's no thing like that there's no 18 plus requirement. One thing I will say though is if you happen to win the NAL, there is a cash prize that's associated, and if you are below the age of 18, then we may have to issue the prize to your parents or guardian instead. That might be the only thing. But yeah, that is it. We got Season 5 NA. We also have Season 3 EU going down. Those teams are all so pumped. They want to be the best crew on the seas. You've got those sales. And oh yeah, but let's talk about the teams. So I mentioned QRF, I mentioned Goats on Boats. Those two teams have won all the seasons so far in NA because QRF won 3 in a row. And then Goats on Boats won the latest one. That's 4, and we're currently in Season 5. And then in EU, the first season was Odin's Wrath. Season 2, Stuka. And now we're currently in Season 3, still waiting to see who's going to win that amazing honor to be the best crew on the seas. I'll tell you, it's... You know what? I want to show you guys something cool. And I really want to be a good voice for the arena, the competitive community. We are great, guys. We are absolutely great. And... You know, sometimes we get that bad, bad reputation. And a few bad apples ruin the whole lot. but the majority of us are really great humans. I think there's a lot of respect with the teams because you can really relate the amount of practice that goes into it, the effort to build a team and the brand and to support each other, to go through all the lows so you can get to the highs. Harry, I'm curious to know about the Barnacle Buds practice schedule. How regular are you guys practicing?
Well, we were actually, I'd say, pretty consistent relative to most teams. There's a great variety between each team and how often they practice. We practice most nights at 9 p.m. in those sets because that's kind of when our guys are on. But we try to get at least, one set in per night, ideally. But yeah, some days we can't do that, obviously, but we try.
Yeah, so there you go. That's just one team. They're trying to get as much practice as possible, trying for every day. And some teams do that, and they have multiple rosters exactly to accomplish that. It's amazing. Snowy Cat says, NAL guys are homies. Much love for all you guys. Thank you so much, Snowy Cat, one of the Notorious partners in the house, joining us for today's NAL Academy. So I want to show something that we found this week that's really dear to my heart. And it's one of those things that the NAL might not have existed if the current chat restrictions that are in effect right now in the arena were in effect back then. And similar thing could be said about Goats on Boats, because we actually met them just playing with them, and it was Rip QZ's birthday, and we invited them to the NAL. So I want to see here, this might, bear with me a moment, but I want to show you guys this clip or this video. It is pretty cool. So just one moment. I hope I know where I put it. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Here it is, guys. This is how the NAL started Dream Baby Rage back in 2019. And this was towards the beginning of my friendship with Sanguine, the helm of... or not, sorry, not the helm. The team captain of Blood Tallyman. So, check this out. We have a really special thing coming up, starting August 1. We have an arena league for the best teams in Sea of Thieves.
Fuck off.
If you want, you're invited to join us for this cool league and participate with your team.
Yeah, I'm down with that idea. I'd like to know more information about it. You can
How
send
do
me
you
a
get
message.
everyone into the same arena?
Okay.
I'll send you a
Okay.
Discord message for you to send
That's
me
not
more
a-
Send me a
information.
Discord message. I'll send you more information. It's
Yep.
gonna be
That's not an
pretty
issue
cool.
for them because they're like the largest.
We got lots of
fucking,
great teams out there trying to compete. Yeah, so there you have it. That's just straight from the heart, going out there, that desire to compete. The in-game voice. How do you get someone? Yeah, exactly. Back then, it wasn't known. There's, spiking, all that stuff. Those were moments that touched the heart. And in a similar way, I guess maybe we can find if we still had the clip from when we met Rip QC from Goats on Boats. But those are the cool moments that unites us all as a community. I think that is more important than ever to be united, considering how small the competitive community is. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed so far this special broadcast of the NAL Academy with Ragetrox and Harry. So now we're gonna go in and we're gonna do some ukulele, because you know what? It would not be NAL broadcast without some ukulele. So let's do this.
I
Ukulele
simply
time.
cannot wait. Yeah.
Ukulele time. Let's go. And by the way, the giveaway is coming. The giveaway is coming right after the ukulele part. We're gonna do about maybe let's say 3 songs. We'll do 3 songs. We'll do our Obsidian 6-pack giveaway, and then we'll go into our raid. So let's do this. Oh, someone is asking, Exility asking if someone has both the NAL and Sea of Champions sales. It's not Dictator Z North, it's Alexilite who has both. Alexilite is the one that has both. Here we go. First song. The NAL theme song. I see one request for Country Roads. So we'll do NAL theme song, Country Roads. And then I want to play a song that I've been practicing. Okay, Ocean Man. And then I want to play the new one. I'll finish on the new one.
Is it Blinding Lights?
No.
Perhaps. No?
It's not Blinding Lights. It's,
I like that one.
It's Locked Away.
Oh, okay.
So, Blinding Lights, I'll play Blinding Lights. I'm going to practice that and learn it properly. And I'll play that for this weekend's league play. I'll have that down. But let's start with our songs. 4 songs, our giveaway, and then we'll do our raid. Let's do this, guys. Here we go. The NAL theme song. Let's do this. The League of Fearless Pirates, they fight upon the sea, and notorious they shall be. They say, oh my goodness, hold on. I want to start over again. I practiced too much, Locked Away. There's a rumor, and it's true. There's a League of Fearless Pirates. They fight upon the sea, and notorious they shall be. They sail for gleaming gold, and for glory, and for fame. Any foe who meets them wouldn't dare to speak their name. Yo, to battle we sail, for fortune and victory, and death if we fail. Or ruin in the Notorious Arena League. Be notorious, so notorious, Notorious Arena League. Will you drink from the winner's cup in the Notorious Arena League? Woohoo! Oh man, a Dadinator with the gifted subs, man. Thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate that. So we got through it. But we have a request for Country Roads. So let's go with that. Country Roads coming right up. I usually nail that one. I usually nail it. Let's go. Country Roads.
Notorious they shall be.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Modest lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads. been home yesterday. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Down country roads, take me home. Down country roads. Woohoo! Let's go. Oh man, I love it. All right. 2 more songs before giveaway time. Let's do this. Let's enjoy Ocean Man. That was another one that was requested. I did not forget. It is time. It is time. Here we go. Ocean Man. Okay, Ocean Man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand. Ocean Man, the voyage to the corner of the globe, it's a real trip. Ocean Man, the crust of a tan man, and by the sand, soaking out the thirst of the land. Ocean Man, can you see through the wonder of amazement at the overman? Ocean Man, the crust is elusive when it casts forth to the childlike man. Ocean Man, the sequence of a life form braced in the sand, soaking out the thirst of the land. Ocean Man, do 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 do. Ocean Man, do 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 do. Ocean Man, do 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 do. Ocean Man, take me by the hand, lead me to the land that you understand. Ocean Man, the voyage to the corner of the globe, it's a real trip. Ocean Man, the crust of a tan man, and by the sand, soaking out the thirst of the land. Ocean Man, can you see through the wonder of amazement at the overman? Ocean Man, the crust is elusive when it casts forth to the childlike man. Ocean Man, the sequence of a life form braced in the sand, soaking up the thirst of the land. Ocean Man, woo! Let's go.
That was beautiful.
One more song, and this one is gonna be I kind of tried it the other day on stream, and it was I flopped it, and I wanted to redeem myself, so I was practicing this week, and I'm gonna go for it here. Locked Away. So let's go for it. Here we go. Let's do this. If I got locked away and we lost it all today, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? If I showed you my flaws, if I couldn't be strong, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? Right about now, if I judge for life, man, would you stay by my side? Or is he gonna say goodbye? Can you tell me right now? If I couldn't buy you the fancy things in life, sure it would be alright. Come and show me that you know Now tell me, would you really ride for me? Baby, tell me, would you die for me? Would you spend your whole life with me? Would you be there to always hold me down? Tell me, would you really cry for me? Baby, don't lie to me. If I didn't have anything, I wanna know, would you stick around? If I got locked away and we lost it all today, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? If I showed you my flaws, if I couldn't be strong, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? Let's get it delayed down. All I really want is someone who don't need much, a girl I know that I can trust, to be here when money low. If I did not have nothing else to give but love, would that even be enough? God, I need to know. Now tell me, would you really ride for me? Baby, tell me, would you die for me? Would you spend your whole life with me? Would you be there to always hold me down? Tell me, would you really cry for me? Baby, don't lie to me. If I didn't have anything, I wanna know, would you stick around? If I got locked away and I lost it all today, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? If I showed you my flaws, if I couldn't be strong, tell me honestly, would you still love me? Tell me, would you want me? Tell me, would you call me? If you knew I wasn't ballin', cause I need a girl who's always by my side. Tell me, do you need me? Tell me, do you love me? Or is you just trying to play me? Cause I need a girl to hold me down for life. If I got locked away and we lost it all today, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? If I showed you my flaws, if I couldn't be strong, tell me honestly, would you still love me the same? Woo! There it is, guys. We made it through the ukulele. Let's go.
Let's go.
Much better than last time I played that one. I hope. Alright, guys. So you've been patient. You watched this whole stream. I hope you learned something with the NAL Academy. And now we are going to rejoice with some good old giveaway action. Obsidian 6-pack on the line. The time has arrived, and I hope luck is on your side. We're gonna celebrate today's broadcast with a very special keyword. Celebrate our friend here, Mr. Harry from the Barnacle Buds. Exclamation mark Harry to enter today's Obsidian 6-pack giveaway. Exclamation mark Harry. And I want to also say one thing. Giveaways are done in a different way now in the NAL. So please pay attention. The items that you'll be winning are gonna get applied straight into your inventory in the game. We're no longer issuing codes to the winners. So that means that this week's winners will be receiving their rewards next week on either by around Monday or Tuesday, the beginning of the week. And you should definitely check us out on our Twitter at Notorious Arena, because we will be posting on our Twitter when those rewards go out. And so whoever wins today, a mod will be contacting you to get your gamer tag, and hopefully you have a Discord or Twitter information, and then we'll stay in communication with you until you can get your reward next week, Monday, Tuesday, around there. And if you want to get involved with the NAL, it's quite easy, guys. Our website, notoriousarenaleague.com. That is how you get involved. You can register, sign up, and we have events going on for EU and NA. Our Twitter at Notorious Arena. But enough chat. I think now it is time to roll this giveaway. I hope the luck is on your side. And Harry, I think you're one of the spiking instructors. You're really good at counting down, so I guess count me down for this one.
Oh yeah, I'd be delighted to. All right, let's get this. 3, 2, 1, roll it.
Oh, let's go with Harry's roll it. This giveaway is rolling right now. Who will it be? Here we go. So many names. Who will be today's Obsidian 6-pack winner? So many names. Oh, slowing down. Oh, who's gonna get it? Nuclear. The right. Oh, okay, that's a funny pronunciation. Okay, you gotta be paying attention. You gotta be paying attention because you gotta interact in chat. He says, oh no. I already have one. Okay. Give it to someone else. Wow, okay. The right boob is very kind. So I guess we're gonna re-roll this. Very nice guy. Okay.
Is this an NAL first?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the first time we've had someone say to give someone else. Much love, the right boob. You are very kind. I'm sure many people are like you for that. So I guess count me down once again, Harry.
All right, no problem. 3, 2, 1, roll it.
Oh, let's go. Double roll. Yep, chance. Let's go. Let's go. More chance to win.
Who will it be?
Here we go. Here we go. Slowing down. Oh, Dedron.
No way.
Oh,
What up,
Dedron.
Big man.
You gotta be paying attention, though. Gotta be paying attention. Interact in the chat. Oh, that was an insta kill right there. Dedron was not messing around with that one.
What up, Dedron?
Amazing. Congratulations, Dedron. So, once more, a mod will be contacting you to get your details, and we'll stay in touch. Your reward will appear in your game next week, Monday, Tuesday, and we'll be posting on our Twitter at Notorious Arena when those rewards go out. As we get ready to close today's broadcast. Oh, wait a minute. What? Dedron said to reroll? That's not true.
No.
He's trolling,
Not
right?
again.
Top Dog is trolling?
I think he's trolling. Talks dog.
Talks
Biggest
Dog, man.
scammer in all of NA.
And he highlighted his comment too. So it was really easy to see. Okay, stop it, man. Let him be happy. Congratulations, Dedron. Okay, so as we get ready to wrap up today's NAL Academy broadcast, once more, Harry, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too.
Thanks for having me. I definitely learned a lot. I didn't expect to come in here not knowing anything, but you definitely taught me a few things. So big thanks for having me. I mean, it's really an honor to be able to come out here and, be taught by the best,
Wow, now I am blushing for sure. Remember, guys, you can check out the Barnacle Buds tonight, 9 p.m. They'll be playing in their unofficial scrims. Harry will be in the stream, and Zoranzo as well. Could you say again the Twitch names?
Yeah, twitch.tv/Harry44__ for me. And for Soranzo or Bilge, it's twitch.tv/Soranzo. Go check us out. Really good stuff we got cooking up tonight.
Nice. And that's with a Z at the end for the Zoranzo. Soranzo S, and then it ends with the Z.
Yeah.
The giveaway just happened, so unfortunately you just missed it. But now we're gonna go into our raid. So let's see who will be today's lucky raider. But I don't want to forget, guys, thank you so much for your support. I'll tell you, when I woke up this morning, I had no idea I was gonna do NAL Academy today. I thought it was gonna be a normal scrim night, like what we're used to. But I said, you know what? Let's actually turned something kind of a little sad, which is the fact that we didn't have the teams. And let's turn that into something positive that we can feel good about. And I think that was mission accomplished. I hope you guys had fun, and I definitely had fun. It warms my heart to know that the community is really getting behind the NAL. You guys are here, you know, and supporting it. So it's really cool. And I want us to support all the teams and follow their journey as they look to be the best crew on the seas. Now let's check out who will be raiding today. I think our today we're gonna be raiding.
Is Pomp one of our partners?
No, but he's you know, if he was playing. No, we have partners. We have partners on. We have. I guess we'll let the chat decide, guys. So we can pick between 3: ZG Photo, Foxdie, or True Edits. I'm looking at the chat. Which one sounds better? Foxdie, ZG Photo, True Edits. True Edits. True Edits.
I am. Yeah.
Edits. Oh yeah, okay. True Edits. Let's go, guys. Inbound. Join us for the raid as we go over to True Edits. Guys, thank you for your support. We'll be back on Friday, hopefully, for the NA Scrim Night. And we'll catch you next time, guys.
Alright.
Here we go.
Dude, Rick! Welcome, Raiders. I don't know, a month in, some of the powder would like go hard, and it just wasn't the best, so... Hey, Notorious Arena League!
I made a mistake. That's the wrong one.
Welcome, everyone.
I still can't believe those people like, yo! Oh guys, this is the Notorious Arena League I was telling you guys
There we go.
about.
Hi, Amanda.
Oh, Notorious Arena League raid! What? Let's go! Woo!
NAL, baby, let's go! Boys.
Can I just go for them?
Hey, Notorious!
Yeah.
Welcome, guys, welcome!
Yo, Notorious Arena League coming in with the hot and spicy raid. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome.
We not have an amateur.
Hey, Notorious again with the raid.
What is up, friends?
NAL hype, guys.
NAL Hype, guys. Thank you so much for your love and your support. Let's go bring that love and support to True Edits, and we'll see you on Friday. Let's do this.
Oh yeah.